Hey, friends. Happy Tuesday. I'm coming live and I'm streaming on a few different platforms all at once, just kind of testing some things out. So I am here on Facebook and on YouTube, and on Facebook on my personal page and on my coaching page, Patricia Chimino Coach. So, for those of you I don't know, my name is Patricia Chimino. I'm an empowerment coach and I work with entrepreneurs and business professionals to bust through the mental games, the things that are keeping them stuck so they can hit their personal and their professional goals. And back in April, I started this series, Empowered Mindset Minute, where I come live every week and share with you strategies to thrive. Hi, Violet. Good morning. And so this week, the topic is to focus on one, not 10. So the inspiration for this week's Empowered Mindset Minute came from my journey on my bike this weekend. So for those of you who've been following my health journey, I got back on my road bike and I posted a video on Saturday. But if you're not on Facebook on the weekends, I want to share with you the golden nuggets that happened during that ride and how you can totally take these golden nuggets and use them to bust through to the end of this year and finish strong in whatever goal or objective that you have set for yourself, regardless of what's happening outside of you, right? So as I was deciding to get on my bike this weekend to ride, I usually ride a 25-mile ride on Saturday mornings. And it's a ride that goes from where I live to a couple towns over, a town called Delray. And so as I got on my bike this week, there were a few things happening in this part of the world, a tropical storm that was headed our way. Once I started pedaling and getting on the street, heading towards my destination, the wind started whipping through me. I literally felt the wind. I thought it was going to lift me off my bike. And then there was intermittent rain that was coming down, right? So there were all these things getting in my way. But what I kept focusing on was where it is I wanted to go, right? So my end destination was the Delray Pavilion. I wanted to get to the Delray Pavilion, but I wasn't really looking for the Delray Pavilion. What I was looking at was, what is that first mile marker that I need to hit? And for me, that first mile marker is a street light, and it's Spanish River. Right? So I knew I just needed to get to Spanish River. I just needed to get to Spanish River. So I kept telling myself that. Even as the wind was whipping through me, even as the rain was coming down, even as the storm clouds were above me, I kept pedaling to get to Spanish River. And once I got to Spanish River, I thought, okay, Highland is the next stop sign that I need to see. And I did the same thing. I applied the same thing. Now listen, I didn't lose sight of Delray Pavilion. I knew that was at the end, but I wasn't focusing on that. I was focusing on that next stop sign. And by the time I got to Delray, I had made it there. So why am I bringing this up, and how can you apply this to your life? Because if you're looking at a goal that you've set for yourself, or maybe you've got some year-end goals, you want to finish out 2020 strong, and you're thinking, how am I going to do that with all the things that I still have left to do? You do it one step at a time. So here's 3 strategies that I want to share with you for doing that. And I kind of mentioned them in my story. But the first one, hi, Angel. Hi, Ingrid. The first one is to solo task, which is exactly what I was doing on my bike. So you think about, what is the one thing that I need to do right now, today? Today, what is the one thing that I need to do? When you give your brain that moment to send your focus to one thing, your brain starts to constrain, right? And that's what our brain likes to do. It likes to focus on one thing. When we've got 10 things going on, it leads us to confusion. And that confusion leads you to stuck zone, not doing anything. Right? You can look at this from any goal that you have. Maybe it's a health goal, looking at the total amount of weight you want to lose versus looking at it in small increments, like 2 pounds at a time. So The first step is to solo task, constrain, focus on one thing that you need to do today. Focus on that and move forward in that. The second strategy is to see the obstacles, right? So as you focus on the one thing for today, you're going to see that there's going to be some things that might come up. Maybe it's the fact that your kids are at home and there's going to be interruptions with your work or whatever you're doing to get to that one goal. Observe those obstacles. I observed that there was a rainstorm coming, a tropical storm. I observed the wind blowing. I observed the dark storm clouds over me, right? And observe that those are there. Take notice of that. And then the third strategy is to keep moving, stay focused on the movement, not the mind chatter. So as you're focusing and constraining on the one thing that you're trying to do today, and you see that there's some obstacles that might come, keep taking steps towards that one thing and focus on that, not on the mind chatter that might come in and tell you, steer you off course, right? Stay focused and keep the movement going. And as I did, I kept pedaling. And as I kept pedaling, I shut down the mind chatter because I was focused on where I wanted to get to. And then what happened? That propelled me to go to the next thing. So what happens is your brain constrains, you complete that one thing, and then you continue on to the next thing. You guys, that's what builds confidence right there. Right there. And that's what gets you to your goal. So I want to just end with a quote, and it's one you've heard many times. A journey of 10,000 steps starts with the first step. So just to recap, solo task, focus in on the one thing that you need to do today. Number 2, notice your obstacles. And number 3, stay focused on the movement, not the mind chatter. All right, guys, I have an awesome freebie. It's called the 5 power questions to go from stuck to taking action. I'm going to put it in the thread down below. Grab it. It's 5 questions that I promise you, if you spend a little bit of time with those 5 questions, you will start to see movement through whatever it is that you are stuck in. Okay. As always, I love being here. If you're just jumping on, hi, Maureen, happy belated birthday. If you're just jumping on, go back, catch the replay. These 3 golden nuggets can help you. I promise you, you follow these 3 things, you will see movement. You will. And that's continuously over and over will get you to where you want to go. So December 31st, you're like, yes, I rocked it out. I did it. All right. Have an amazing day. If you like this, share this, and I will see you back here next week.